Good morning, everyone. Hello. Welcome everyone to AERO Day 2024. My name is Senator Paul Rosino, and this is one of the most fun days at the Capitol for me every single year since it started. Thank you all for being here. The rotunda is full. Look up and down, you see all the floors, the third floor, the fourth floor, it's full. There's a lot of students here, but first and foremost, anyone that's wearing a uniform today, thank you for what you do. Thank you for putting yourselves on first and foremost in this country, and we appreciate every single day that you put that uniform on. So thank you all. First, I'd like to just kick this off by saying Sandra Shelton, many of you know her. She really wears me out almost every day about aviation. And so Sandra, thank you for doing this. Could we give Sandra a big round of applause? One of the things I wanted to kick off is just say, last year in particular, the Oklahoma legislature, because aerospace and aviation was so big and we have been moving in the right direction for a long time, we decided that the Aeronautics Commission needed a new name. And we needed a new name because in the world and in the country, Oklahoma's standing, we didn't have the presence by saying we have an agency, we just had a commission. So last year, the Aeronautics Commission was renamed to the Oklahoma Department of Aerospace and Aeronautics. They have 60 years of aviation experience and economic development in the state of Oklahoma, and that's why we are now the #2 industry in the state of Oklahoma. So it is a big deal. It is a big deal. They did an impact study, an economic impact study in 2017. And at that time, aerospace and aviation was declared as #2 at about $44 billion in economic impact. I don't believe that number is true anymore. So we are doing another one. I think we are probably pushing between 50 and 55 billion. And to all, I say this every year, I'm up here and I say it constantly, to our oil and gas friends, we love you. We appreciate everything you do, but we want aerospace and aviation to be #1 in the state. And the people in this building are continuing to work towards that by good incentives, good things that we're doing, and caring about the aerospace and aviation industry. So we have the biggest Air Force base materiel command in the state of Oklahoma at Tinker, and we have the largest commercial MRO in Tulsa. And we are continuing to move forward with aerospace companies, with drones, and expansion everywhere. As a matter of fact, in my district on Friday, I get to participate in a groundbreaking for 2 more new hangars to bring more work, about 350 jobs to the state of Oklahoma. Also, I have the honor of working and representing Mustang and Moore high schools, and both of those now have aviation programs, and Mustang is considered a center of excellence for aerospace and aviation for high schools. So let's give those kids a round of applause because they're here. The other thing that I always talk about, and we bring this up constantly, is the jobs in Oklahoma with aerospace. And we are currently about 206,000 jobs at about 11.7 billion in payroll. But more importantly, the average salary is about $73,000. That is a phenomenal number in the state of Oklahoma. So thank you all the employers, all the companies that have come here, everyone who is expanding and making Oklahoma home. We are grateful for you, and welcome to your state capitol. Thank you all.
Can I take this off? All right, we're just going to hold the mic. Senator Rosino, thank you for those amazing words. Welcome today. My name is Grayson Arnings. I'm the Executive Director of the Oklahoma Department of Aerospace and Aeronautics. On behalf of the 60-plus exhibitors, the 300 students, the hundreds of aerospace industry professionals and advocates, and our hundreds of military members, welcome to 2024 Aero Day at the Capitol. Truly an amazing day to celebrate our state's second largest industry. As you heard Senator Rusino say, $44 billion a year of annual economic activity. But I'm here to tell you that I think it's higher than that. As you heard him say, I think we're going north of $44 billion a year of annual economic activity. Our department is undertaking another snapshot of the economic impact that this industry has. And we want this to be our number one industry. I don't know that we're going to make it there just yet, but we need all of your help to ensure that we can take the snapshot of this data moving forward this summer, this fall, so that when we're back here in 2025 for Aero Day at the Capitol, we can say that this industry has grown, this industry is doing amazing things for the great state of Oklahoma. Now, at the end of the day, it would not be everything that we have without our state leaders and our state legislature. I want to give them a great thank you to our governor, our lieutenant governor, our Senate, and our House. Let's give them a round of applause. Just a year and a half ago, over $250 million, the largest single investment in the state of Oklahoma was provided to aviation aerospace. That is truly remarkable. We are putting those monies in the ground. That is infrastructure that's going to support business growth and expansion. So thank you to our lawmakers, thank you to our leaders, and thank you to the Senate for making a specific committee that has jurisdiction surrounding aerospace and aeronautics. The first ever, the newly formed Senate Aeronautics and Transportation Committee, and I'd like to welcome the first chairman of that committee, Senator John Hayes, to the stage from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Senator Hayes.
Well, thank you, Director Arties, and good morning. It is awesome seeing this fantastic crowd, even larger crowd than last year. You know, this legislative session, we are concentrating on assisting the Oklahoma Department of Aerospace and Aeronautics and other agency partners in fulfilling their mission to help grow the aerospace and aeronautics industry. I am proud to author, working with our House counterparts, legislation that creates the Oklahoma Aircraft Engine Testing Development Grant Program, the Long-Term Aerospace and Aeronautics Infrastructure Sustainability Revolving Fund, and adding vertiports to the provisions of the Municipal Airports Act, all within the Oklahoma Department of Aerospace and Aeronautics. The success of aerospace and defense industry has been founded in good policy by state leaders, and I am proud to chair the committee that is bringing air and ground transportation into a new era of efficiency and technology. You know, this past June, I had the honor and privilege of attending the International Air Show in Paris as part of the Oklahoma delegation to that incredibly important event within the aerospace and aeronautics industry. Through the almost 24 meetings that I participated in, I saw firsthand the standing that Oklahoma has internationally when it comes to our aerospace and aeronautics industry. I mean, this, when you think it's just Oklahoma, you go and you have these meetings around the world and they're talking about Oklahoma. Not only do they know Oklahoma, but they know what's going on within the industry in our state. So that's something we can be very proud of. We have great standing internationally. So with that, it is my pleasure now to welcome a wonderful friend and an advocate for aviation, Executive Director Tim Gatz with the Oklahoma Department of Transportation.
Thank you, Chairman Hayes. Great honor for me to be here with you today, and on behalf of Governor Stitt and Lieutenant Governor Pennell, I want to welcome everybody to the Capitol. So excited for Aerospace and Aviation Day here. Really a great event. If you wonder about how surface transportation and aviation aerospace interact together, look no further than I-40 and Douglas Boulevard, right adjacent to Tinker Air Force Base. If you travel through that, if you use it on a regular basis, I apologize, because it is a massive construction project. But folks, I'm telling you, that's what we do. We invest in Oklahoma's future. We invest in keeping all of our industry strong, and that location is the center of aviation and aerospace universe. So again, we make those investments on the surface transportation system across the great state of Oklahoma in support of everything from municipal airports to the spaceport at Burns Flat. We have to keep ingress and egress to those facilities as strong as we possibly can. We enjoy being a part of making this successful, and I believe, again, this industry in the state of Oklahoma is only increasing in its importance and what it means to Oklahoma's future. So again, I want to thank you all for being here today. Really excited from the Department of Transportation perspective to be a part of this. And I have the great honor this morning of making an introduction of our Chair of General Government and Transportation in the House of Representatives. This chairwoman is a stalwart supporter of all things transportation. And in Oklahoma, that means water, air, and land, along with rail. So I want to tell you, she is a fantastic chairwoman. She's doing a great job for all the citizens of the state of Oklahoma. I want to introduce Chairwoman Nicole Miller.
Well, thank you for being here first and foremost. Thank you for everything you do to just invest in the industry and to just continue to grow aviation, aerospace. My own husband is a pilot, by the way, so he's in the industry. And today, our son will be accepting a nomination to the Naval Academy. And yes, even though his daddy is a Zoomie, and he's going to pursue aviation. So we'll see what that looks like, but really excited. So it's a very special day for me, and it's a special day that I'm so glad that all of you are sharing in that with me. So with all that said, this has been a very busy session with aerospace bills, and I am proud to have authored legislation that would establish tax credits for civil engineers and their employers beginning the tax year 2025, and very importantly, clarify language for aerospace engineer employee tax credits to continue and to invest in the industry. I am also excited to work with Chairman Hayes to enhance Oklahoma's air transportation system, including airports, for the use of unmanned aircraft systems and advanced air mobility. Some of my favorite things are the technological advances. We are going incredible places in transportation, especially in the advanced air mobility field. We have tremendous support in both chambers for that, with aerospace and aeronautics, due to a lot of the good work of what Sandra Shelton does and Director Arties. And I am just very happy to be here today and to introduce the longest-serving Speaker of the House of Representatives and someone who has truly provided leadership. And if all of you here in the military know, what is one of the key things that you learn in the military that you use every day is leadership. So this is a man who has done that for the House of Representatives, and I am very blessed to have been under his leadership and honored to introduce Speaker Charles A. McCall.
Good morning and welcome to the Capitol here on Aerospace Day. It's great to be with you. You know, it's been an honor to be the Speaker of the House for the last 8 years and serving in this body for 12 years. And it has been amazing and a great journey to watch the aerospace industry in the state of Oklahoma move from almost infancy, definitely adolescence, to the second largest industry in the state of Oklahoma. And that's largely due to you. Thank you for being here today. The aviation and aerospace industry produces just under $44 billion in annual economic activity to our state and is the second largest industry in our state. And I believe one day, very soon, it could be the very largest industry in the state of Oklahoma. I think some of the things that the legislature has done to pave the way for this is some of the pro-business environment that we have worked on over the years. We have the most robust economy that we've ever seen in our state's history, largely due to a low corporate tax rate, a low cost of doing business, and a low regulatory hurdle state. Over 100,000 Oklahomans are employed in the aerospace industry and growing, a number that we hope and we will invest to make sure it continues to grow. 9 Oklahoma colleges and universities offer aerospace degrees and certifications. That will continue to grow in our state. Additionally, our career tech institutions cover all aspects of aircraft maintenance, repair, and overhaul, aircraft manufacturing, and supporting industries. Oklahoma is truly a hub for aerospace excellence. The legislature has shown its commitment to supporting and expanding the Oklahoma aerospace industry over the past few years. During the special legislative session in the fall of 2022, aviation and aerospace received the single largest investment from the state. In total, there was nearly $250 million from ARPA and PREP sources. We are committed to continue the investment in workforce and infrastructure development. We thank you for all that you do. We thank you for being here. Our mission here at the state legislature is to provide certainty to this industry, that it will continue to flourish and grow. We are interested in attracting more industry, more investment, more capital to the state of Oklahoma. And the legislature, if I have anything to say about it, will continue to invest in this industry. Thank you all for being here today. Thank you for allowing me to share a few words. And now at this time, it is my honor to introduce to the podium a very dear friend of mine, the Honorable Senator Brenda Stanley from Midwest City, Chair of the Senate Veterans Committee. Please welcome Senator Stanley to the podium.
Wow, looking around, I can hardly believe all the wonderful people here. This is awesome, you all. I'm here to introduce our distinguished military and civil aeronautics guests. Please help me welcome Colonel Abigail Rosetta, 72nd Air Base Wing Commander at Tinker Air Force Base. Brigadier General Brian Moore, Commander of the Oklahoma City Air Logistics Complex at Tinker Air Force Base. Brigadier General Christopher Eason, Assistant Adjutant General, Oklahoma Air National Guard. Chief Master Sergeant Dennis DePiazzo, Oklahoma Air National Guard State Command Chief. Colonel Adam Rosado, Deputy Wing Commander of Altus Air Force Base. Colonel Ronnie Blunt, Special Operations Group Commander at the 137th Special Oklahoma Wing. Chief Master Sergeant Larry DeSalle, 137th Special Operations Wing Command Chief. Colonel David Phillips, 138th Fighter Wing Mission Support Group Commander. And Michelle Coppage, Director of the FAA Mike Monroney Aeronautical Center. And then, what a privilege for me to get to welcome my friend, Colonel Abigail Rosetta, the 72nd Air Base Wing Commander and Mayor of Tinker Air Force Base.
All right, good morning, Oklahoma. What an opportunity and a privilege to stand before you today as we celebrate AERO Oklahoma and this rich, rich history of aerospace and aviation in the state of Oklahoma. As the Tinker Air Force Base Installation Commander, it is an absolute treat to stand before you today. I see lots of very, very important defense industrial base, organic industrial base partners in the crowd, so thank you so much. I will tell you today, we live in a time of consequence. You think about history, and while history may not rhyme, while history may not repeat itself, history may rhyme. So think about what's happening in the global environment today, and think about what was happening in 1939. So today it's 2024. We have Ukraine in its third year of war. We have Israel and Gaza in war. We have severe competition and deterrence in the Indo-PACOM theater. It sounds a lot like 1939. Today is a time of consequence. Days like today are incredibly important to build our partnerships, build our relationships, and continue to advance aerospace and aviation in this great state. Nobody cares about our plans for the future if we lose the fight tomorrow. So what we're doing is incredibly important. In the Air Force Sustainment Center, there are 4 priorities that we talk about. We talk about produce to promise. We talk about how it's our people that make it happen. We talk about process is how we do it. And we talk about preparing for competition and war fighting. And that is what we're doing every single day at Tinker Air Force Base. Our community is what makes Tinker Air Force Base strong. One of my favorite quotes is from Lieutenant General Gene Kirkland, who just recently passed away. And he said, "The best communities make the best bases." And it is this community that has made Tinker Air Force Base so strong. So thank you to everybody for allowing Tinker to continue to flourish. I will tell you today, right now, our community is also gathered at Tinker Air Force Base to mourn the loss of Colonel Bruce Everett, who tragically passed away, a sitting group commander. So lots of our partners, lots of our wingmen are not here today because they are at Tinker celebrating Colonel Everett's life. And so please, if we can just also recognize we're in a dangerous business and every day matters. So community partnerships form the cornerstone of our success. The enduring bond between Tinker and the community is the model of collaboration which supports our mission and contributes to air power every single day. So as we continue to forge ahead and be inspired by our shared history and united in our pursuit of excellence, together we stand ready to embrace the challenges of tomorrow, secure in the knowledge that our collective efforts of everybody here in the great state of Oklahoma will continue to shape the future of aviation and aerospace. So thank you so very much for everything that you are doing. Have a fantastic Aero Day.
Thank you, Colonel Rashida. Back on the stage here, obviously Aero Day Oklahoma is an advocacy and a positive day, but this day looks a little different today. Oklahoma, an Oklahoma native son and hero we have lost, General Tom Stafford. He was an air and a space giant for not just our state, not just our country, but the entire world. At the end of the day, whether it was an advocacy day at the Capitol, his hometown in Weatherford, General Stafford was all about aerospace, aviation, educating young people. It really was sad to hear of his passing, but I understand how many lives he touched across the state of Oklahoma, the United States of America, and the world. A little personal story for me, when I first started at the agency in 2009, General Stafford was at a ribbon cutting at the extension of the Weatherford runway. The last time that I got to meet General Stafford, he was also at a ribbon cutting for the terminal building that bears his name at the Weatherford Airport. He truly was a native son and favorite hero for the state of Oklahoma. And it's my pleasure to welcome Senator Darcy Yeck, Senate District 26, and Representative Annie Moore, District 57, the General's hometown elected officials to the stage to say some remarks. Gentlemen.
Well, good morning. What a great crowd. So thank you all for being here. To those of you who are in the operating and advocating for those people in aerospace and aeronautics in Oklahoma, thank you very much for what you do. Those of you in uniform, we appreciate what you do, we appreciate your service, and thank you very much for being here. Director Arty's mentioned that my Senate district in western Oklahoma does include Custer County. It includes the city of Weatherford, which is the birthplace, and we claim that with pride, the birthplace of Senator Stafford. Senator Stafford was an Air Force officer. He was a test pilot. He was a NASA astronaut, a 3-star general. He was one of 24 astronauts who flew to the moon. Years ago, the Stafford Air and Space Museum was built right there on Route 66 in Weatherford. I believe the airport was named after him in 1993. I'm told that when he showed up for that dedication, he said, "Wouldn't it be nice if we could display some artifacts from his background?" So what that went from, it was like a 5 or 6 foot display case that had 2 rooms and 600 square feet. Today that is 63,000 square feet. And it's they expand on it all the time. It's got some fantastic artifacts in there, so I would encourage you to come see that whenever you can. It's also most fitting today to let you know that a display has been put on the 4th floor rotunda. So it's right in front of the grand staircase. So there is a painting that was commissioned a few years ago by former Pro Tem Harold Wright. It was a painting of the general. So that painting has been displayed with some other things about his career. So I would encourage you to go up and look at that if you can on the 4th floor. I would also invite you to come out to Weatherford and go to the Stafford Air Force and to the museum there. To Director Arties and his staff, thank you for putting this together. It's very important that we as legislators have this opportunity to interact with you people that are in this industry. This is a dynamic industry and it's changing all the time. It's become a very important part of the economy in Oklahoma, so thank you for making that happen. It's my pleasure to introduce Representative Moore. Representative Moore's already been introduced somewhat, so Representative Moore.
Thank you, Senator. Thank you all for being here. It is my honor to represent Custer County House District 57, the home and General Stafford, native son of Weatherford, who graduated from Weatherford High School. It is truly fortunate and perfect today that we actually on the 4th floor rotunda have some Weatherford High School aviation students here. It just brings full circle how much General Stafford really meant to Western Oklahoma, to Oklahoma, and the United States and the world. He was an incredible individual, probably the only time I've ever met someone who was completely speechless. He's just amazing, and he was so proud to be from Oklahoma. He was so proud to be from Western Oklahoma. He was so proud to be Oklahoma educated, and that was really something that he harped on every time I saw him was our education system and how we need to continue to pour into those students, to teach them math and science so they can go on and change the world. I could talk about stories about General Stafford for hours because it's just fascinating. My favorite story is the fact that when they were trying to figure out, they were sitting in a bar and decided that we want to be able to rendezvous. As you guys know, what became the Apollo-Soyuz mission. And they said, we just got to figure out the math to do that. We don't know if we can do that. General Stafford said, sure we can. And he pulled out a napkin and he started writing out the math that's still used today, and they've never missed using that math that he started on a napkin on a bar, which is just phenomenal. But the thing that he was most proud of, and I see all these people in uniform here today, when he passed away the world's fastest man. On the back of the Apollo 10, when they slingshotted from around the moon, and he told me this at 91 years of age, he gave me to the 3rd decimal point, and I couldn't remember that far, but it was 24,791 miles per hour. For those of you in uniform, that's Mach 32. And so I challenge you to try to get that record, try to beat Mach 32. He was very proud to be the world's fastest man. And the quote that I'm going to leave you with from General Stafford is the fact that he said, I grew up in Western Oklahoma during the Dust Bowl and the Depression, and I flew to the moon. I am living proof that nothing is impossible. And so, as we continue to develop on his legacy, he is the foundation, the bedrock for Oklahoma Aerospace and Aviation, and I'm very proud to be able to remember him. As Senator Yeck said, please go visit the 4th floor rotunda and see that. It is my honor now to introduce renowned Oklahoma Aerospace historian Bill Moore to share a little bit more. Bill.
Thank you, Representative Moore. It was my privilege to serve on the board at the Stafford Air and Space Museum for about 15 or 16 years now, and working with General Stafford is such an honor. I would venture to guess, gentlemen, that he is probably the greatest Oklahoman. He represents so much about what this state is about and what's good and what he accomplished in life and what he contributed to the world. He grew up in Weatherford, born there. His mother was a teacher, his father was a dentist, and he spent his childhood and his teen years there. When he graduated from high school, he went on to the Naval Academy and then participated in the Air Force. They were given a choice when the Air Force was new at that time to move on to the top group moved on to the Air Force, and he wanted to fly higher and faster, so it fit in well. He became an astronaut in 1962, and it was announced on his birthday, his 32nd birthday at NASA, and he was in the second group of astronauts. The next 9, or the new 9, whichever you hear, and that included people like Neil Armstrong, Pete Conrad, John Young, and Jim Lovell, and of course Tom Stafford. Many of those gentlemen accomplished the great feats of flying to the moon during the 1960s and 70s. General Stafford flew 4 missions. He flew Gemini 6, which was the very first rendezvous in space. Gemini 9, which not only proved our rendezvous, but also had a spacewalk that went in one complete orbit around the Earth. Apollo 10, which was his trip to the moon, they proved out the lunar module in the lunar orbit. And then the Apollo-Soyuz test project, which was the first flight with the Russians in 1975, and opened the door for everything since then, and working with them today on the International Space Station. He was our representative with the Russians. He was on so many committees and commissions for presidents, for NASA, and for Russia. Up until the day he died, he was doing this kind of work. And I've just questioned who's going to do it now. But he was very important to this country, to this state, to the town of Weatherford. And it was a real privilege to work with him. One quick story. He was receiving the Wright Brothers Award in Washington, and he called on me to make a video for it. And so when I produced it, he invited me to come and attend the event. And so he called me at the hotel and he said, let's go down early. I want to find out what's going on down there and what they expect me to do. So we went down to the ballroom, and they had not let anybody in yet except for astronauts. And when you were with him, you were with history. I was standing there looking at John Glenn, Neil Armstrong, Gene Cernan, of course Tom Stafford, the greats from NASA, and just, it's amazing what he accomplished in his lifetime. And again, gentlemen, I think he's probably the greatest Oklahoman. Thank you very much.
Well, I get the honor of introducing our next speaker. It's Commander John B. Harrington. Commander Harrington was born in Wetumpka, Oklahoma. He has a Bachelor of Science degree in Applied Mathematics from the University of Colorado, a Master of Science degree in Aeronautical Engineering from the Naval Postgraduate School, and a PhD in Education from the University of Idaho. As a naval aviator and a test pilot, he has over 5,000 flight hours in more than 30 different types of aircraft. In November of 2023, Commander Harrington flew in space aboard the Space Shuttle Endeavour and logged over 330 hours in space, including nearly 20 hours of extra-vehicular activity, and for somebody like me, that means spacewalks, a lot of spacewalks. In 2008, Commander Harrington completed a 4,200-mile bike ride across the United States to promote Native American interest in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. John is a proud citizen of the Chickasaw Nation in Oklahoma and considered the first Native American to fly in space. Help me welcome Commander Harrington.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning.
It is my honor and privilege to be here today to recognize somebody. This is about storytelling. I like to tell stories. When I was about 8, 9 years old, I used to sit in a cardboard box and dream I was going to the moon. Because in the 1960s and 70s, that's what we were doing. And one of those gentlemen was General Tom Stafford. I never imagined in my wildest dreams that I would have the opportunity to fly in space like these gentlemen I watched on TV back in that day. Never my wildest dreams. I had a privilege to fly in the space shuttle back in 2002. I retired in 2005 and came back to my home state of Oklahoma to work in the commercial space industry. And one of the first people I met when I came back was General Tom Stafford. He was curious what we were doing at Rocket Plane. I showed him flight test data. We compared wind tunnel data from our scaled model to what the space shuttle had. And he was genuinely interested in what we were doing. But I never imagined I would be in the company of somebody that was my hero growing up. Astronauts do have heroes, and he's one of my heroes. By being back in the state of Oklahoma, and getting to know General Tom Stafford, I got invited to many of these events honoring both the Apollo-Soyuz, Gemini, Apollo 10, and I would get a call from General Stafford, or I would get a call from somebody in the staff asking me to be there. And I said, well, how many other shuttle people are gonna be at these events? Oh, just you. You're from Oklahoma. He wants you there. So I had the opportunity numerous times to meet the people that I grew up an idol of, highly esteemed people that had gone to the moon. And General Stafford became a very good friend. A couple stories. One of the events happened was Bill Moore called me in Washington, D.C. one night. We were premiering an IMAX movie that I had co-starred in. And Bill Moore calls me and says, hey, John, the general's in town, and he would love to come see your movie. Is that okay? Of course, you betcha. So the general comes to the Aerospace Museum. We walk up to the lunar module and the command module, and he's looking through the hatch, telling me what switches are there, and talking about describing what it was like to rendezvous back with the command module, just after being closest to the moon before Neil Armstrong. To me, it was one of those moments that you're actually speechless, having the opportunity. So General sits next to me in the premiere of this movie called Into America's Wild. And it's a 3D movie, so we put our glasses on. But before that, the gentleman that had produced the movie, a guy named Greg McGillivray, recognized General Stafford. Greg McGillivray filmed General Stafford when he launched on the Apollo-Soyuz in his original movie To Fly, longest running IMAX movie in history. General Stafford was sitting right here. Greg introduces him to a rousing standing ovation at the Aerospace Museum. So we watched the movie, and there's this one segment in the movie where there's a young lady standing on a pinnacle on a climb in Moab, Utah, and this drone is flying around, filming her. She's standing up going like this. And the general's sitting next to me, and he pulls his glasses off, and he goes, wow. The dude has been to the moon, and that impressed him. I thought it was a lot of fun to be able to share this experience of a guy that I so admired growing up. It's an honor and privilege to be here at Aerospace Day to share some personal stories about the general. Rest in peace, General Stafford. Godspeed.
Thank you, Commander Harrington. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce our last speaker of the day. MRO placed in the hearts of Oklahoma, as you heard, and 1946 was a great year. It was a year that we stole what would be the FAA Monroney Center from Texas, and we stole the American Airlines maintenance base from New York. What better year and what better states to steal stuff from? But I'd like to introduce the VP of Maintenance for American Airlines, Greg Emerson, to come say a few words about how American Airlines is changing the world of MRO. Greg?
Thank you so much, Grayson. I want to also give a shout out to my American Airlines team that's right over here, right next to me. So if you're a student or looking at a career in aviation maintenance, stop by and see these great folks over here at American Airlines. I got to figure out how to get this put back in. All right. So thank you, Grayson, for the introduction. I just wanted to take a few minutes and really just say how pleased I am to be here. This is the first time I've been in the Capitol building. It's very beautiful. It's bustling with a lot of people here today. Thankful to see a lot of interest. Appreciate the veterans that are here today, and also, just the interest for aerospace and aviation. And we know that Oklahoma's storied history in aviation, dates back generations, but over the last few decades, the leadership and innovation of the Oklahoma government and industry has done a great deal to ensure the sustainability of aviation, aerospace, and defense. And so Oklahoma's cultivated a robust military and commercial environment, certainly with Tinker, with the FAA Mike Maroney Aeronautical Center, and of course, American Airlines Base Maintenance in Tulsa. The strategic focus on attracting startups and fostering advanced technologies, including electric propulsion and autonomous systems, is transforming Oklahoma into the nation's leading incubator for A&D innovation. So with the state's central location, incredibly skilled workforce, and rich legacy of aviation and aerospace, we're all well poised to take full advantage of the innovative results coming from the state of Oklahoma. As Grayson talked about, America's presence began here in the state of Oklahoma more than 75 years ago. And we take pride in being the largest airline serving the state of Oklahoma, leading the way in departures this month. Our extensive network ensures that Oklahomans have unparalleled access to the nation and the world, with more destinations from Oklahoma than any other airline. We serve Tulsa, Oklahoma City, Lawton, and Stillwater, embodying our commitment to keeping Oklahomans connected. Notably in Tulsa, we've increased our flight operations by almost 14% compared to April 2019, demonstrating our dedication to meeting the travel needs of Oklahomans. Our current vision for connecting Oklahoma with key destinations has led to the introduction of new routes that weren't served in 2019, including Tulsa to Phoenix, Miami, New York LaGuardia, and Washington Reagan, as well as Oklahoma City to Miami and New York LaGuardia. These routes are milestones in our ongoing journey to expand our footprint and offer Oklahomans more travel options than ever before. In continuous pursuit of excellence, every American flight departing the state of Oklahoma this month is operating dual-class aircraft. That ensures our customers have the choice of enjoying a premium cabin, elevating their travel experience with us. It reflects our commitment to just not meet but exceed the expectations of our customers. Looking behind the scene, just want to brag a little bit about American's Technical Operations Facility in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's considered the world's largest commercial airline maintenance base. We have 22 buildings, 6 hangars, and a highly skilled workforce of almost 5,000 team members. It spans about 250 acres, and we're proud to be the forefront of aviation excellence. Our Tulsa team specializes in expertly maintaining aircraft, from quick turn aircraft to the heaviest overhauls that take over 20,000 man-hours to produce. And on top of that, when the need arises where we need to fly anywhere across the world, our expert technicians go and recover and repair aircraft that are beyond the capabilities of those stations that have them. Our expertise extends beyond just aircraft maintenance. We also perform component maintenance for things like flight controls, thrust reversers, interior components like seats and galleys, wheels and brakes, you name it, we can fix it. And our focus on turbine engine maintenance and overhaul, specifically on the CFM 56-5 and 7s, set the global standards. We have incredibly fast turnaround times on those engine overhauls beyond anyone else that's doing it in the world today. And we're on track to produce about 60% more volume this year than we did last year, further solidifying our position as a leader in the industry. And as part of that increase in production, we're currently adding over 300 new highly skilled team members to join the Tulsa base to support that. From nose to tail, our Tulsa team does it all. The comprehensive approach ensures every element of the aircraft meets the highest standards of safety and reliability, which helps us as an airline care for people on life's journey. And as a result of the great value that Tulsa delivers, we're in the midst of an investment exceeding over $400 million for our facilities, which included a $22 million investment from the state of Oklahoma's Business Expansion Incentive Program, which we received back in December. The investment is aimed at modernizing our facilities, including new apron, boilers, chillers, roofs, and revamping critical infrastructure like water, sewage, and information technology. And I extend my deepest gratitude to the Oklahoma legislator, the Oklahoma Department of Commerce, the Department of Aerospace and Aeronautics, Governor Stitt, and Lieutenant Governor Pinnell. Their immense support and visionary leadership have been instrumental in fostering an environment that nurtures innovation, education, and drives economic growth in the aerospace sector. But this significant investment in American Airlines extends beyond just us for the future of Oklahoma and the future of our industry. The real concern for us today is the workforce and the talent that's needed to support such a growing industry. It's the backbone of our industry, and our future depends on nurturing talent and creating comprehensive education and training initiatives. Oklahoma's Career Tech's expanding offerings are pivotal in cultivating a sustainable pipeline for qualified talent. Moreover, the collaboration with the Department of Aerospace and Aeronautics, disseminating the AOPA You Can Fly high school curriculum and the Choose Aerospace maintenance curriculum exemplifies Oklahoma's commitment to educational excellence in aviation. Those incentives supported by the Oklahoma Department of Commerce ACES program are instrumental in educating and training the needed talent that we have in this industry. So in closing, Americans' dedication to serving and expanding in Oklahoma is unwavering. We're not just flying, we're growing. We're connecting and enhancing the travel experience for every Oklahoman. And our investment in the state reflects our belief in the boundless possibilities that lie ahead for Oklahoma and their aviation and aerospace sector. As we look forward to the future, it's clear that Oklahoma is not just participating in the aerospace revolution, it's leading it. And together with the continued support of our state officials, educational institutions, and industry partners, we will soar to new heights, pushing the boundaries of what's possible and ensuring that the sky is not the limit, it's just the beginning. So thank you for your continued support as we soar to new heights together. I look forward to meeting you in the Rotunda. Thank you very much.
Well, good morning, everyone. I see a lot of Air Force people here. If you're Navy, Marines, or Army, welcome to Airplane Day. We are happy to have you. In all seriousness, if you are a uniform wearer, whether it be Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, I just want to thank you for your service. The state of Oklahoma has been committed to making this the #1 state in the country for veterans. So if you're active duty, I hope that you feel welcomed and appreciated here in the state. If you're retired or separated from active duty, I want to say thank you for your service and thank you for choosing Oklahoma. To those who support our industry, whether you be a large Fortune 500 company or a small mom-and-pop aerospace company, thank you very much for making aerospace the fastest growing industry in the state of Oklahoma. If it was not for your support, as you know, for decades and decades, the state of Oklahoma has been a commodities-based economy. When oil prices are up, that's good for the state of Oklahoma. When they're down, that's bad for the state of Oklahoma. It is because of your efforts to continue to invest and grow the aerospace and aviation industry that we've been able to weather some quite turbulent times in our industry. It has always been my goal, without offense to my folks in energy, oil and gas, renewables, to make aerospace the #1 sector of our economy in the state of Oklahoma. And we are very close. And I'm convinced that within the next few years, that's right, Sandra, within the next few years, we will be the #1 industry in the state of Oklahoma. And it's because of efforts like this. So I've learned when I was in the military to be brief, be seen, and be gone. And so this really does conclude my remarks. I want to thank Sandra and Grayson with the Aeronautics Commission. I want to thank all the companies that have set up booths here today. A lot of them are friends of mine, like ATC over here that I see you. Hi, Carly. I hope you enjoy your day. I hope you choose aerospace, and I hope you choose it here in the state of Oklahoma. For this last thing, I want to bring on stage with me Chase Rutledge, if he's here. Chase has kind of become famous. Not only is he a helicopter pilot, but he likes to take selfies. And so we're going to do a big selfie with the crowd. So if you'll stick around, can we do a selfie?
Heck yeah!
Can you turn around and do it? Well, you all enjoy your day. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you for choosing aerospace. Thank you for investing in the state of Oklahoma. Have a great day, and we'll do this again next year